Hello. Hopefully this will be, well, hopefully. I don't wish it was over, but, you know. This will probably be the final stream of Limbus Company unless I am severely underleveled and get screwed over, but the people in the Project Moon Discord said it would be fine if I went in now. So I'm going to trust them. I hope they didn't lie to me. Alright, I guess we should just begin. Yeah, let's go to the mirror dungeon. No. I hate how there's only... I hate how it stops giving you 10 EXP bonuses once you... You know. Okay, no, I am going crazy. It seems fine to me. Okay, that seems fine to me. Yeah. Yeah. The branch facility we entered was not as well preserved as the one we had visited in District 4. Are you sure that one was well preserved? Oh, yo, you can see their names in the background. Yo. The fuck is this guy doing? What is he nailing? It seems N-Corp's Inquisitors have been using this place as their base for a while. Various torture devices and bits of flesh and machinery like those we saw in town came into my sight. Please stop. It hurts. It hurts so much. This one speaks of suffering. It must be a false cry. Pay it no mind. No, the pain, it's real, I swear.
불순물을 몸에 붙일 때는 아프지 않았는가? 인간이기를 그만두는데 마음이 소리치진 않았는가?
Did it not hurt to attach these impurities to your flesh? Did your conscience not scream as you rejected your humanity? Enough. This one is too far gone to repent. Does the absence of tears not say enough? This one is only pretending to confess. No, wait. I can shed tears, so I beg you, please. We can afford to verify, can we not? Indeed. For a genuine effusion of sorrow suggests humanity. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is not going to end well. Now we shall lift your eye. Their heretical depravity knows no bounds. They've gone so far as to make vile devices that mimic tear glands. We must see with our own true eyes that this isn't the case.
그대의 눈을
We
보고
will let you go if we
계좌에
can
살펴
confirm that your
재판을
eye socket is indeed of flesh and
내보내도록
blood.
뭐, 안 돼. 안 돼.
What? No, stop! Huzzah!
이단은 벌레와도 같군.
You heretics are truly like pests.
홀로 자리하지 않고 끊임없이 대업을 방해하는 것이 아주 흡사하도다.
Never alone, with a habit of constantly obstructing our great task. You are kindred creatures indeed. Lordia shrugged when I looked back.
왜? 이번엔 나도 한번 나서보고 싶었어.
What? I wanted to take charge for once. Oh god. What? What is this? Oh god. Oh god. This is so big. Holy shit. Oh no. Oh no. I can't use support on this, can I? No, you can't. I forgot, yeah. Yeah, you can't. Unless I had to do it before the dungeon started. Then, fuck. Whatever.
명령대로. 제대로 들어갔습니다. 허리 습니다.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
Get him, Honglu. Get him. Get him, Honglu.
나중엔 봤어요? 너무 쉽군요.
다음은 어디요? 뭐야? 그새 제법 싸우는 폼이 발전했는데요.
Well, I'll be. You've all gotten better at fighting, haven't you? A faint voice calls to us from the corner.
소드씨.
Sod? Sod? Sod was resting against the wall, exhausted. She was covered in bites and gnaws left by the Pecatula.
괜찮으세요? 일어설 수 있으시겠어요?
Are you right? Can you get up easily? Sod could barely talk, let alone stand on her feet. She slowly began to speak, each word filled with pain.
에피는 어떻게
Effie, how is he?
살아있죠? 밖에서 만났죠?
Alive, yeah? You must have met outside. Everyone is hesitant to answer Sod's desperate question. How could any of us inform her of the morbid state Effie was in and how we had to put him out of his misery?
네, 살아있어요.
Yes, he's doing fine now. Honglu answered quietly. No sinner came forward to elaborate.
잡담은 그만하지.
That's enough chatter.
또 그 이상한 것들이 기어오는
Seems
듯한
more of those oddities are crawling our way. A swarm of Pecatula approached us. It was as though our guilt about lying to her had gained physical form. That's depressing. Project Moon Games. Very depressing. Oh. I guess I'm forced to do it. Okay. I guess it didn't matter.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
I guess nothing matters in these, I guess. Well, you're a 4. Great. The 20 keys.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 재밌네.
Oh, right. I haven't read those ones yet, have I? Well, I'll probably get another chance, maybe. I've already read yours, right? Yeah. So let's get Gaiety. Oh, whoops.
혈이 남자오.
다음은 어디요?
There's a machine in this dilapidated room. A long, bulky lever at the center of the machine is loaded with springs. The urge to pull it is growing stronger and stronger. What will you do? No. Whoops, I didn't read that. Yeah, good thinking. You and the sinners left the room. Yeah. No thanks. Wait, what? You see a large gate in the distance. There's something eerie about the pointed fences and stone walls. It looks to be the only way through this area, but it's guarded by a large number of inquisitors. Is there anything we can do about them? The forest is dense, but there's still gaps in it. If we tread carefully, we might be able to strike the Inquisitors from behind and give us a considerable advantage in the upcoming battle. Please. Urshu slowly walked into the woods. Soon enough, a few Inquisitors fell to the ground. Heretics, the heretics are here. Though we couldn't take them all down at once, it was enough to break their formation. We'll be able to pass through once we take the rest down. Enemy raisers 1. Allies gain 3 attack power up. Combat encounter. Win the next battle to earn ego gift
이게 좀
assigned.
맞았어?
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
I don't know what the fuck assign means. I just know it's important for something, apparently. Still favorite, so.
죄를 새겨주겠어. 혈이 남자오.
거치적거리지만 마. 검을 덜 갈았었나?
Oh, okay.
명령대로.
흉터의 결과요.
다음은 어디요?
끝. 검을 덜 갈았었나?
너무 쉽군요. 죄를 새겨주겠어.
Go get him, Gregor. Get him. Get him.
끝이.
선생님, 봤어요?
거치적거리지만 마.
흉터의 결과요.
처리했습니다. 제대로 들어갔습니다.
Absolutely wrecked.
봤어요? 너무 쉽군요.
I heard that familiar, ominous sound of a nail being dragged across the floor from not too far away.
관리자님, 앞으로는 확인 사살을 기본 전투 계획에 넣는 것이 어떠신지 건의드립니다.
Manager, if I may be forward, I would suggest soon including steps in your combat protocol to confirm that our foes are dead. The thought of his return makes what hair I have stand on end.
일단은 말살되어야 한다.
Ye heretics must be exterminated. How long have you been? Guido approaches at a slower gait than before, but his gaze is firmly fixed on me.
그리고 나머지는 정화한다.
And the rest shall be purified. I needed to rewind the clock. Most of the sinners were either dead or gravely injured. There was no way an effectively non-combatant manager and someone barely holding on to her life could take him.
멈추세요.
Please stop. Just then, Sod pulled out a gun. She pointed at the barrel at me.
움직이지 마시길 바랍니다.
I need you to keep still.
그 시계를 돌리는 순간 제 총이 그대로 머리를 꿰뚫어 버릴 거예요.
The moment you try to turn that clock, my gun will blow off your head. Sod?
그렇게 쳐다봐도 저한텐 안 들려요. 하지만 말해드릴게요.
Don't look at me like that. I can't hear you, but I can tell you this.
당신을 없애는데 협조하면 에피는 살려서 보내준다고 했어요.
They promised to let Effie go if I helped get rid of you.
시간을 지나치게 오래 끌었다.
I let too much time pass. Guido comes to me and grabs me by the neck. Ugh. Then he grips my head tightly with his other hand as if to crush it. Creaks, cracks, and rattles ring inside my head. His fingers being inches away from shattering my head terrifies me. Is this it? Is this how I die? Could this have turned out differently if I was a better manager? I remembered Heathcliff menacingly asking if there was a way to open up my head so he could see what's inside. Tough luck, Heathcliff. You'll be missing out on a good show. I heard a sound. It was the sound of something breaking. Fortunately for me, it didn't come from my head. Guido staggers. A nail was lodged in his back, and Sinclair was gasping for air behind him. He was nearly unconscious, lying still until moments ago. It's a miracle that he managed to get up and do this. I could escape Guido's grasp thanks to him, but Guido stood firm despite Sinclair's desperate attack. He collected his breath and slowly turned around.
그렇군.
I see.
그대 또한 이단이라는 것이군.
You too are a filthy heretic.
너희들 다 미쳤어. 제정신이 아니야.
You're all insane, out of your minds.
진은자께서 말씀하셨지.
The one who Grips had once said
그대도 또한 진은자일 수 있었다고.
that you could have become the one as well.
그러나
What a shame.
쥐는 방향이 잘못되었군.
You grip with the wrong direction. Sinclair, run away. I can't help you.
아니요. 이제 안 도망쳐요.
No, I'm not running anymore.
좋은 대답이네요, 싱클레어 씨.
I like that answer, Sinclair. Gunfire filled my ears, but the bullet struck Guido's head.
스스로 멸망에 이르는 자들이여.
You who bring ruination upon yourselves,
망치는 계속해서
the hammer shall continue to pursue you.
것이니.
With those words, Guido fell to the floor, motionless. And in that hush, I heard her handgun drop to the floor. Sod.
에피는 역시 죽었죠.
Effie, he's dead, isn't he?
당신들은 허술해요. 거짓말을 하려면 좀 그럴듯한 표정이라도
You're
짓던가요.
all terrible liars. At least try to make it somewhat believable.
쏘듯이 얼른 나가자고. 지혈 좀 하고 그러면은 괜찮을 거야.
Come on, Sod, let's get you out of here. You'll be okay. Just gotta stop the bleeding and get you patched up.
맞아요. 제가 지혈대를 챙겨.
Right, I'll get a tourniquet.
무슨 말을 하는 거예요?
Don't be stupid.
제대로 움직이기도 힘든데.
I can hardly lift a finger.
더군다나 저 신문관들은 계속 올 텐데요. 당신들은 계속 내려가야 하잖아요.
Besides, those inquisitors will keep on coming, won't they? You guys need to keep moving down.
제가 여길 맡을 겁니다.
I'll hold them off here. You should go.
어떻게 그래요?
You can't do that.
제대로 움직이기도 힘들다면서요. 그래서는 어떻게 뒤를 맡기겠어요? 네?
You said that yourself that you can hardly lift a finger. I can't let you watch our backs when you're in such a mess. Please?
저기 이럴 땐 그냥 고개 끄덕이고 잽싸게
You know.
넘어가면 되는 거랍니다.
In moments like this, you're supposed to just nod at me and be on your way.
격 떨어지게 남은 사람 걱정을 왜 하는 거예요?
Why do you care so much about the one who volunteered to stay behind?
그렇지만
You can't just...
이거 진짜 구질구질한 장면인 거 알아요? 기껏 멋있는 구도가 잡혔잖아요.
You're making this pretty awkward, you know that? Here I thought I could have a cool farewell.
파우스트, 얼른 이 멍청이들 데리고 가줘요.
Faust, please take these absolute dorks out of here.
베르길리우스 씨한테는 안부 전해드리죠.
I'll make sure to give Vergilius your regards.
안부는 무슨
No need.
인사나 한번 와달라고 해주세요. 무슨 뜻인지 알죠?
Just tell him to come visit and say hello someday. You know what I mean?
네.
Of course. We headed for the next area, leaving Sod to die. We all stayed silent for a long while. Sinclair's determination to stand up to Cromer after 3 strokes had been drawn. Okay then. The A steel door rests on one side of the room. It looks too thick to be easily broken or breached with force. There's gotta be something totally valuable through here if it's guarded this tight. Cinder might be right. Trisha might be waiting behind the door. What should you do? Can I check my Cinders? No? Okay. The steel is thick, but it might not be impossible for a Cinder to move it ajar. Who would be the right person to do that? Please. Fuck. Reissue pulled that shit door that won't work. The door didn't so much as budge. As much as you want to know what is behind the door, you have there's no choice but to leave the room for now.
거치적거려서 그런
Great.
거야.
I assume that's what leads down here. That might be where one of the signs are, but whatever.
예리한 검으로 하는 예술이 보고 싶었나? 거치적거리지만 마.
Great. Great.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
Oh, right. I'm supposed to be reading these. I keep forgetting. You're still alive. The wheel's often been the symbol of technological advancement. It represents humanity's realization of its ability to think up and actualize things that weren't in the nature. At the same time, it marks the beginning of humanity's transformation into prideful creatures. That might be why pride takes the form of a wheel. The steel circle doesn't ever seem to stop rotating. It doesn't care if it gashes at flesh or crushes patches of grass, because it can roll while others cannot.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
Wow, this map is complicated.
최선을 다해 임하겠습니다.
Interesting background.
거치적거리지만 마.
Get wrecked.
너무 쉽군요. 죄를 새겨주겠어.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
죄를 새겨주겠어. 흉터의 결과요.
Oh, we're not gonna get to see the move. Lame. Lame. That's a symbol. The Incorp Inquisitors were busy torturing someone. A filtered screen fills the cramped room. Their victims are people with prosthetic bodies. Sinclair didn't utter a word, but his eyes were full of wrath and fear were fixed on the torturers. He breathed heavily at irregular intervals. His body was shaking. He looks like he might be charged forth at any second. Should you stop him, or... We may not be valiant knights, yet even casting morals aside, we will fight them and move on. Do you really mean it? When you explain your plan to Sinclair, he looks back at you with surprise. I thought you would stop me. He spoke anxiously, but he seemed to nevertheless happy with the decision. Got it, I'll do it. Sinclair sprinted to where the Inquisitors were alongside the other sinners. As Sinclair approached, the Inquisitors cast their victims aside to charge at us. You bastards. Sinclair stood against them at the forefront, but the hammer might be too big for Sinclair's weapon to stop. After all, this is his fight first and foremost. Sinclair locked his halberd against the handle of the hammer and parried it to the side. With their leaders attacked thwarted, the Inquisitors were thrown into disarray. We'll be able to keep the flow of the battle in our favor by taking the lead now. 5 attack power down, Jesus.
감사해요.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요? 죄를 새겨주겠어. 죄를 새겨주겠어. 책임이요?
명령대로.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
버리겠습니다.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
최선을 다해 임하겠습니다.
어디서 짐승이 기어다니는 소리
Oh,
들리지 않아?
Jesus. You hear beasts crawling around somewhere? There certainly is the sound of something moving along the floor.
저것들도 환상체인가?
Are those abnormalities?
자세히 봐요. 환상체가 아니에요. 인장이 박혀 있어요.
Take a closer look. They aren't abnormalities. See that emblem? Ishmael whispered softly to us. Upon closer inspection, I could spot the emblems she mentioned. They were the ones worn by the Inquisitors.
에고 침식 현상이군요.
Ego corrosion has rested them.
기분 나쁜 상태를 말하는 건가?
You mean that nauseating state?
전투 중에 멘탈이 흔들릴 때 그랬던 것 같은데 마치 뭔가에 잡아먹히는 것 같다고 할까요?
I think it happened to me in battle once when I was on the verge of a breakdown. It was like I was being devoured.
우자구적 씹혀 먹히는 것과는 괴가 다르지만 본질을 좀 먹어 들어간다는 것을 생각하면 괜찮은 표현이네요.
Although it's not quite like consumption in the conventional sense, I do suppose that is a serviceable analogy, seeing as it eats away at your
그리고 이
essence.
장소는
And an observation,
의체들을 고문만 하는 장소가 아닌 것 같아요.
unlike the last floor, this place does not seem to be exclusively for torturing prosthesis users.
스스로 침식을 강행시키는 장소라는 말이 타당하겠군요.
It would be fair to say that its purpose is to induce corrosion unto oneself. Staring at those beings stumbling about, it evoked complex feelings that made me sigh. Is my artificial head really worth raging over so much that they would transform themselves into something far more hideous than having a clock for a head? Choosing to lose themselves, being possessed. What about when they claim the golden bow after going to these lengths? Will it even be used for their benefit? Then it occurred to me, am I really so different from those unsightly zealots when I'm searching for the golden bows without even knowing what they'll be used for? Oh, I haven't seen these ones before. There are far more appalling and fearsome things out there, but I need to make this clear. That looks horrifying. It may look like a wild animal from a distance, but as you get closer, the curiosity turns into disgust, like the feeling you get from beings roaming around the outskirts. Bundles of muscle fibers protruded from the skin, covering its body like a coat of fur, and its ribs seem to have flipped upside down and ripped through the back. Its arms, or should I say legs, definitely had the appearance of human limbs, but their movement wasn't. That's right, it was a beast. Dost thou speak the truth when you say creatures like that inhabit the outskirts? No, you won't find things like that. Well, I never. Then for what reason didst thou use such a description? There were worse things.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Oh, these things have a lot of health. Great. Oh, and they're all attacking the same person! Lovely! Because there's something I can fucking do about that? Thanks, game. Thanks.
따라준다면 좋겠네요. 이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Why did that not stagger when it was below the whatever?
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
I really love how they all target the same person. It's so funny.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
재밌네요.
This evade is really annoying. Why are they all attacking Yi Sang? Oh my god. Alright.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
내 팔은 연에 있었어.
다음은 어디요?
Okay, it's dead now. At the start of the turn, allies with less skills have the following. If the unit took no damage from took damage last turn, find 2 bind and attack power up. Oh joy. Oh my god. Why can't I move the camera? Why can't I move the camera? Okay, there we go. Oh my god, this is so big. What am I?
예리한 검으로 하는 예술이 보고 싶었나?
따라준다면 좋겠네요. 혈이 난자오. 재밌네요.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
처리했습니다.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
당문 어디요?
Oh, this map is weird. Yeah, what's that this odor? The sitters frowned at the olfactory assault. Following their eyes, you can find an Inquisitor collapsed on the floor, definitely dead. The smell must be coming from the rotting corpse. While everyone was hesitant to approach, you see something sparkle. What will you do? Oh, whoops. Ah, fuck. A sinner easily enticed by trinkets and baubles would be willing to dig through this morbid mess to take them. On the other hand, someone uninterested in such things will not be happy to do this order. Oh! Hung Lu found a bent sigil of End Corp between the mains. It might not have been worth reaching into a corpse for, but it has to prove useful somewhere down the line. He took the sigil and left the room, comforting the sinners who were retching at the sight. Ego gift End Corpse earned. Yay.
실력과도 연관되어 있죠?
Use in certain events. Expires on use. Okay. You hear snapping mechanical noises through the closed door. Sounds like a cry for help. As you focus your attention, you begin to hear footsteps. Steel. Those are clangs of steel. Sinclair froze. It looks like an Inquisitor is coming for them. What will you do? I knew I could count on you. Sinclair jumped in as soon as you told him what to do. As you expected, a number of prosthetic people were tied to a rope. You should run quickly. As soon as Sinclair untied them, they hurriedly ran out of the room. Bastards, not even simple thanks. Some sinners complained, but Sinclair looked satisfied with the deed. Calming them down, we left the room. Didn't say there was a combat encounter? Whatever. Well, I got all three. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that does. The passage was heated red. Yeesh, that melted my shoes. Sinners carefully approached the road, only to retreat from the overwhelming heat. Something was written on the sign in front of the passage. Prove your humanity through weakness and separation. Create a path with seared feet. It took no time at all to figure out what this meant. What will you do? We've proved ourselves already, haven't we? The sinner suggested. Remind you that you own the proof. Right, the seal. Tagging the seal on the sign caused the patch to cool down in an instant. We were able to tread the path without a problem. It's a boss up there.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요? 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 죄를 새겨주겠어.
거치적거리지만 마.
처리했습니다.
혈이 난자오.
당문 어디요?
I never get to see that full attack. It sucks.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
Oh, it's these things. Not fond of writing, but I can't disobey orders. Just don't come complaining at me. I can't write anything fancy, pleasing to read. First off, those buggers look disgusting. Weird clay-like things are all over their arms and legs, and they've got sunning eyes on them too. There's also a sharp blade thing. I couldn't tell if it's protruding bone or a dried slab of clay. I guess that's what it uses to prod around, eh? Oh right, we've got a bug guy on our side, don't we? Looks kind of like his arm. Maybe he's got more to tell you. I don't know where to start. I don't necessarily love my arm, but don't you think comparing it to that clay monster is going too far? Got a problem? Say it to my face. Heathcliff, please refrain from causing trouble. Also, profanities have no place in observation logs. First thing we write all this rubbish, and I can't even write however I like. Go get someone else then. The white-haired lass keeps bugging me, but I'm writing this my way. Those buggers spat on me mood enough in the fight today. Those goggling eyeballs. Right, those things weren't actually clay. Muscles, that's gotta be it. Muscles. Ripping one of those gave me the feeling of as tearing up an unlucky sod. Seems like those bundles of muscles sticking to limbs were what's moving the body, acting like the whole thing belongs to them. The eyes on the face never flinched, only the ones on the arms. Made it a bit tricky to fight him. I'm guessing I'm supposed to guess where it'll go next based off on where it's looking, but that eye thing kept throwing me off. Well, I don't mind taking a hit too much if I can scalp him 3 times in return. Another thing, those things look like they had feelings. Their muscles quivered each time I hit them, squinted their eyes too. Like it was getting mad. Some clatty fruitcake they are. What does a CF taste like? Is it artistic? You piqued my interest. That's just a common Backstreet's phrase, meaning something absurd. I know, JK. I don't know what CF means. Normally, things like these grow back right as we break them, but those muscle lumps don't seem too good at that. I doggedly bashed the big chunk of muscle stuck onto an arm, and I managed to crush it fine. That didn't stop it from trying trying and hitting me though. It didn't stop to threaten me as much, but that didn't mean not much at all. Right, I think it no longer did the thing where it gets right fuming and grabs one of us and tear him off. Yeah, it only makes sense. I can't do the stabbing if the big knife's broken. Four damage up. Oh my god. These things have a lot of HP.
끝이.
Why did you do that? Teth my ass. These are not Teths.
거치적거리지만 마.
Great. Oh my god, they have so much HP. Holy shit, this is insane. Oh my god, I hate this fight.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
They're much easier in the dungeon than they are here. These guys are HP tanks. Oh my god.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Why? How did you not get staggered? Okay, there we go.
선생님,
There we go.
왔어요?
거치적거리지만 마.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
Okay, let's see. Oh my god, what the fuck?
거치적거리지만 마.
안태님, 봤어요? 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 제가요?
명령대로.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
다음은 어디요?
Okay. Please let there be a checkpoint because I just used a lot of stuff. There's no checkpoint. Why was there just a random boss?
그대, 이 검이 필요하오.
Just a random boss in the middle of nowhere.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
혈이 낭자.
끝이 꽤잘
다음은 어디요?
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
dead now. Dead forever. Okay, there's a checkpoint. Headley's transform end course of visitors stood guard at the gate. You try to attack, but they don't seem hostile in any capacity. Only exceptional ones are allowed in this place. To pass, you will prove yourself worthy. You aren't sure what they mean by proving yourself worthy. What should you do? There doesn't seem to be any other way. Conversation is the only option. Well, I just win that one. Ryuchu approached the Inquisitor. You, well spoken, your words, they were persuasive. After a while of parlance, the Inquisitor opened the gate for us.
죽이 좀 맞았어.
Yeah, you can't go back. What a fucking giant ass dungeon this is. I got 3 signs. I don't know what that means, but I got 3 of them.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
You've got to be kidding. Why do I have to observe this thing and write a log about it? I hate this kind of stuff. Reptiles, bugs, and all that kind of critters. I can't stand them. Not you though, Greg, sweetie. Anyway, we still gotta fight this thing and all, so I did my share of looking. First off, there's a whole lot of snakes. It's got these huge serpents instead of arms, and they keep flicking their tongues. Are those the fingers? And that's not all. The smaller snakes were poking their heads out of the armor too. Isn't the whole suit filled with snakes? Yikes, I want to unsee that mental image. This can't be real. It's got to be some kind of joke. Can you believe it? The serpent for an arm grabbed me. But I just can't cool down. That arm, I mean the huge snake stretched all of a sudden and coiled around me. 665, oh my god. When that cold and slimy thing touched me, I didn't even care that I was about to die. I was so grossed out to even think about it. I was gasping for breath, strangled by those things, and then all the small snakes hanging from the body started rushing at me. All those bites and stings and tears. Oh, what a mess that was. I don't remember when I died or when I get back, but I'm never getting that image out of my head for the rest of my life. Dante, darling, could you please let me stay behind next time we fight these? Well, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Dante. You should be selective about approving requests from your sinners. Are you underestimating our executive manager? If they ask that you reposition yourself, you will do so, front or back. Do you understand? The snakes, they won't even die. I've sworn I finished it, but it was still standing, flicking its tongue. Is it some kind of last stand or what? Like, don't you have to be alive to show endurance like that? How do dead things even stand their ground and fight to their last? They creep me out so much, I can't even. Maybe he'd be tolerable if they weren't snakes. Right arm and left arm. That's so horrible.
거치적거리지만 마.
Okay, we need to attack the left arm now.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
끝이.
Please don't.
거치적거리지만 마.
달려라 루신한테. 정의는 승리한다.
끝이.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
That's a lot of poison.
너무 쉽군요.
Well, it's dead. If an ally takes a lethal attack, they heal 50% of their max HP. Okay.
예리한 검으로 하는 예술이 보고 싶었나?
I see endless mounds of dead bodies. The Inquisitors were raising their arms in unison as if to worship something. And there Cromer stood at the highest peak. She held out her hands in a prayer-like gesture towards the golden bow atop an altar.
이미 자아심도가 열렸어.
Fathoms of the ego are already
우리보다
open.
먼저
I see
황금가지가
someone has
공명했구나.
resonated with the bow before us.
대체 뭘 하고 있는 거야?
The hell are they up to?
뭘 향해서 손을 뻗고 있는 건데?
What are they raising their hands for? Prayer.
이건 무슨 소리죠?
What is this sound?
어디서 많이 들어본 소린데 왜인지 머리가 간지럽고 기분 나쁜.
This seems awfully familiar, somehow annoyingly tingly and unpleasant.
학교 종 소리잖아. 어지간히도 학교가 싫었나 보군.
It's a school bell. Our boy hated school that much, eh? The playful conversation seemed to lighten the mood of the sinners, save for one. The one who should have been the owner of the fathoms still showed uneased.
아니야. 보여주고 싶지 않아요. 제 기억은
No, I don't want to show my memories. They're... Unfortunately, his plea held no power over the realm.
자, 모두 잘 들어.
Alright, everyone. Listen up.
진행자께서 말하신다.
The one who grips so declares.
진행자께서 말하신다.
The one who grips so declares.
이단들이 우리의 신성한 의식을 방해하는 것도 모자라. 봉헌에 마땅할 재물에 눈독을 들이고 있다.
Not only are those heretics disturbing our sacred site, they are now after the offering that is rightfully ours to concentrate.
불쾌하고도 불순하도다.
Disgrateful and defiled are they.
불순하도다.
Disgrateful and defiled are they.
가서 죽어라. 그걸 두려워하지 마라.
Go forth and die. Do not fear your end.
황금의 재물만 있다면 너희는 무한히 살아날 테니까.
As long as the offering of gold is with us, you shall be brought back to life again and again.
진행자께서 함께하시니 두려움 없도다.
We shall fear not, for the one who grips is with us.
진행자께서 함께하시니 두려움 없도다.
We shall fear not, for the one who grips is with us.
그리고
And
싱클레어,
Sinclair,
이리 와. 어서 내 손에 쥐어야지.
hurry over. You belong in my hands.
진행자께 부려지는 것은 생애의 으뜸 기쁨일지니.
No greater joy exists than to be wielded by the one who grips.
진행자께 부려지는 것은 생애의 으뜸 기쁨일지니.
No greater joy exists than to be wielded by the one who grips. I
싱클레어,
Sinclair,
저는 가져왔지.
did you bring the coin?
또래들이 모여 있는 쉬는 시간은 늘 떠들썩하다.
The breaks between classes are always lively since everyone gathers around to talk.
어른들은 때때로 그런 우리를 멀찍이서 바라보며 흐뭇해하고는 했다.
The adults would often watch us from afar and take this as a heartwarming sight.
하지만 어른들은 모를 것이다.
But there's something they don't realize.
조금만 가까이서 보면 떠들썩한 시간이 시샘과 과시, 우월감과 간교 등으로
When you take a closer
뒤섞여
look,
있다는 것.
these merry attractions are brimming with envy, vainglory, pride, and guile.
그만큼 아이들은
Children are
조용하다는 것.
crafty creatures.
옆반의 라훌은 아버지가 직접 양팔 시술을 해주신대. 심지어 아직 제대로 공개한 적도 없는 최신 기술이래지.
I heard Rahul from the next class over is getting surgery on both arms by his father. Gonna be some new tech that's never been shown before. How cool is that?
잡지에 나온 이 배우 알지? 우리 어머니한테 안구 시술 받기로 했다는 거 내가 말했나? 대기자가 너무 많아서 매니저랑 직접 와서 빌었어.
You know this actor on all the magazine covers? Did I ever mention they're getting an eye transplant at my mom's clinic? The wait list was so long they personally begged to be moved up.
한두 마디씩 던지는
I grow
친구들의
more
말에
anxious with each boastful story my classmates tell.
너는 뭐 없어?
That is
라면서 쳐다보는 눈동자들은 금방이라도 비웃음과 멸시로 바뀔 것 같았다.
What can I share? Their expecting eyes pointed at me felt like they could turn into scoffing leers at any moment.
이건 비밀인데.
This is a secret, but...
침이 꼴딱
I swallowed
넘어갔다.
nervously.
어쩌면 뭐
Maybe they
없는
weren't
말에
asking me for a
나를
story
향한 것이
after all.
아닐지도 몰랐다. 하지만 나는
But I had to keep their curious
그들의
eyes on
야릇한
me.
시선에서 그 순간 내
I knew
팽개쳐진
for sure
것을
that I'd become an outcast the moment they looked away.
우리 아빠는 피사와 협약을 맺었어. 지금 개발 중인 기술들을 보더니 전폭적으로 지원해주기로 했대.
My dad signed a contract with P Corp. They saw the technology he was working on and agreed to give their full support.
맙소사.
My goodness, just what was I thinking when I spilled that?
그 사실을 털어놓았을까? 그들의 눈밖에 나지
Out of the
않을
fear
듯
that I'd
공포에
be
섣불리
isolated from my
튀어나온
peers, I carelessly spilled my own ruin.
혹은
Maybe I was compelled by some childish urge or an inherent desire to be recognized by the other students.
기업 간의 비밀 협약이니 다른 사람들에게는 절대 말해서는 안 된다고 신신당부했던 아버지의 얼굴이 떠올랐다.
Now, Emil, this is a confidential agreement for our business. You mustn't tell another soul. His insistent reminder echoed in my head. I could see his face.
와, 그게 진짜야, 싱클레어?
Whoa, is that for real, Sinclair?
피사면 그 날개 말하는 거야? 와, 완전 부럽다.
P Corp? Like that wing? Wow, I'm jealous.
대화의 중심은
I became the
순식간에
center
나로
of
바뀌었다.
conversation in a split second.
주위에서 흥미롭게 쳐다보는 아이들의 시선도 느껴진다.
I can feel the stimulated eyes of the other kids in class drawn to me.
우쭐함. 그건 꽤 달콤한 맛이었다.
Superiority was pretty damn sweet.
아마도 나는 저열한 허세에 휩싸여서 행동했던 것 같다.
I guess I was driven by a depraved craving for attention.
그러고 보니 싱클레어, 너도 곧 받겠네, 의체 시술?
Oh, right, Sinclair. Your procedure soon, isn't it? You know, the prosthetics.
당연하지. 제일 최신형으로 해주신다고 했는걸.
Yeah, of course. They told me I'll get the newest model.
저들이 만약
If they paid just a bit of attention to
조금이라도 내
my
표정을
face,
유심히 보았다면 마뜩자라하는
they'd
내
have
얼굴을
noticed the reluctance in my
분명
expression.
눈치챘을 것이다. 하지만 다행히
Fortunately, no one ever
그런
pointed it
것들을
out.
알아채는 이들은 없었다. 쉬는 시간이
A
끝나고
massive wave of guilt eventually washed over me after our break was over, and I was finally left alone.
자책 비밀을 지키라고 했는데 아버지가 아시면 어떡하지?
I was supposed to keep that a secret. What if father finds out? Ah,
손톱에서는 어느새 피가 새어나오고 있어.
blood was leaking from my fingertip.
불안할 때마다 손톱을 뜯던 버릇이 기어이 화를 불러일으켰던 것이다.
The bad habit of biting my nails whenever I felt anxious ended up hurting me.
나는 그 버릇을 고치기 위해 손톱도 최대한 짧게 잘랐었지만
I tried clipping them as short as I could to work on breaking it,
대신에 살점을 물어뜯게 될 줄은 모르고
but I
있었던
never
것 같다.
considered that I might bite into my skin instead.
책상에 떨어지는 핏방울을 보면서 그런 생각이 들었다.
Watching blood droplets fall on the desk, I thought of something.
졸업을 하면 의체 시술을 받게 된다.
Once I graduate, I'll get a prosthetic replacement,
그러면 영영 상처날 일도 피를 보게 되는 일도
and then I'll never get hurt or see my blood ever again.
하지만 그게 정말
But is that really?
너 피가 나네?
You're bleeding.
경쾌한 휘파람
Someone
소리와
casts a
함께
shadow over my desk with a whimsical whistle.
조그만 말을 거니는
으악!
이름을 겨우 기억할 정도로 교류가 없던 동급생.
She was a classmate I rarely talked to, so I could barely remember her name.
나는 당황스러움에 우스꽝스러운 말투로 더듬으며 대답했다.
Flustered, I stuttered out my response awkwardly.
뭐라고?
What's that?
있잖아, 네가 아까 한 말 진짜야?
Listen, what you said earlier, is it legit?
진짜야.
Yeah, it's legit.
그렇구나. 니네 아버지 진짜로 대단하신가 보다.
I see. Your father must be a real big deal, isn't he?
뭐 그렇지.
Yeah, I guess.
예상치 못한 찬사에
Her unexpected flattery has me embarrassed.
아버지의 훌륭함이
As if my father's greatness were somehow my
내
own.
미덕이라도 된 것처럼.
그런데 넌 왜 그런 표정을 지었어?
Though, why did you make that face?
뭘?
Huh?
너 말이야. 속으로 그렇게 생각했잖아.
You know, you were thinking it to yourself.
그러더니 고개를 숙이고
And she lowers her head and whispers for only me to hear.
더럽다고.
That it's filthy.
눈동자가 커진다.
My eyes widen.
속마음을 들켰다는
Not just
당황스러움이
because I was
있었지만
surprised by how she knew what I was thinking,
애써 숨겼다고 생각한
but the
의심을
fact that a total stranger like her had been able to
낯선
figure out
눈치를 챙긴지는
exactly what I've been hiding.
알길이 어떻게 알았어?
How did you know?
뻔뻔하게 부정하면 될 일을 나는 바보같이 허를 찔렸다는 표정으로 되물어왔다.
I could have gotten away with it if I had just denied her accusations, but tactlessly, I asked her with a dumbfounded look on my face.
왜냐하면 나도 너랑 같은 생각이거든.
Because I agree with you on that.
나랑?
You agree?
통하는 사람끼리 많은 게 보이는 법이지.
You can see a lot from those who are on the same wavelength as you.
반가워. 난 크로머야.
Nice to meet you. I'm Cromer.
그 이후로
Ever since then,
나는 크로머와 종종
Cromer
이야기를
and,
나누는 사이가 되었다.
Cromer and I became friends who talk often.
죄를 새겨주겠어. 이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
선생님 봤어요?
명령대로.
끝이. 거치적거리지만 마.
흉터의 결과야.
당문 어디요? 선생님 봤어요?
처리했습니다.
Victory. Oh, jeez.
그대, 이 검이 필요하오. 우리 가족은 매일 아침마다 같이 식사를 해야 하는 규칙이 있었다.
As a household rule, my family used to have breakfast at the same table every morning.
온 가족이 식탁에 둘러앉아 이야기를 공유하고 격려나 농담이 오가는 따뜻한 시간.
It was a pleasant time when our whole family would share stories and encouraging words.
나는 그 시간이 좋았다. 그리고 그 규칙은 내게 한없이 부드럽고
I liked those mornings.
우아했다.
That rule was ever so kind and gentle to my heart.
내게는 너무
A
당연한
natural and changing world that belonged to me. My
나의
world.
그 세계가
That world began to feel
슬쩍
alienating one day.
나의 눈앞까지 의체 시술을 받고 식탁에 자리했던 그날부터였다.
The day when my sister sat at the table after her prosthetic transformation was complete.
아버지의 머리가 양철과 각종 전선, 회로로 이뤄진 낯선 것으로 바뀌었을 때부터
My world had begun to change when my father's head was replaced with an unfamiliar contraption of steel circuits and wires.
가족들 간의 식사는 더 이상 따뜻하고 밝은 세계가 아니었다.
Our family
그것은
breakfast
오히려 불편하고
no longer provided
말수가
warmth and
줄어드는
connection. It became an occasion.
불편한 경험이 되어 있었다.
It became an occasion of detachment where I talked less and less.
나는 의체로부터 태생적인 불결함을 느끼기 시작한 것이다.
I had started to feel an inherent abhorrence for prosthesis.
더러워.
That's filthy.
신체를
My heart couldn't
뼈와
accept
살이
the
아닌
idea of
다른
replacing
무언가로
one's flesh
대체해야
and
한다는 것이
bones
도통 마음으로
with something
받아들여지지가
else,
않았다.
let alone the need for it.
왜 우리는 의체를 사용하는 걸까?
Why do we use prosthetic bodies?
조심스럽게 이유를 물어보니 돌아오는 대답은 간결했다.
I carefully asked for an explanation, and the reply was simple.
인간의 몸은 고리타분하다는 것이었다.
The human body, in its old modified state, is too old-fashioned.
먹지 않으면 배고파하고 자지 않으면 피곤해하고 다치기라도 하면 회복을 기다려야 하고
It needs to be sustained with food, revitalized with sleep, lest it should fail from fatigue, and injuries should take a long time to heal.
이 모든 것들은 한없이 비효율적이다.
All this makes the human body incredibly inefficient.
그러니 시간이 지날수록 의체를 사용하는 이들의 비율은 늘어갈 것이며 결과적으로 의체의 일상화는 곧 필연이라고 했다.
He concluded that prosthesis will grow more commonplace as time goes on, and ultimately become a regular part of our daily lives.
나는 속으로
I thought to myself,
그럴 거라면 차라리 도태되어 버리는 게 낫지 않을까?
why don't I just fall behind the times if that's what the mainstream will be?
논리 정연하게
But that wasn't an
그 말에
argument
반박할
rooted in
수는
logic.
없었지만
싱클레어, 의체 시술 받는 거 사실 마음에 안 들지?
Yo, Sinclair, you don't actually want to take the replacement procedure, do you?
나는
I
조용히
nodded without a
끄덕였다.
word.
하지만 부모님한테 솔직하게 말했다간 그들이 속상해하실 테고
But your parents sure wouldn't like it if you confessed that.
아무것도 할 수 없는 게 원망스럽지?
Isn't it frustrating that there's nothing you can do about it?
다시 한번
I nod
고개를
again.
끄덕인다.
내가 도와줄까? 그런 것 따위 받지 않고 자유롭게 살아가도록.
What if I helped you out? You could live a free life with no worries about any of that junk.
어떻게?
But how?
그건 다음에 말해줄게.
That you'll find out next time.
그 대신
In exchange,
내가 너의 원망을 해소해주듯이 너도 나의 원망을 이뤄줘야 할 거야.
in return for helping you with your problem, you'll help me deal with a grudge of my own, too. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
선생님 봤어요? 죄를 새겨주겠어.
처리했습니다.
선생님 봤어요? 제일이요? 너무 쉽군요. 흉터의 결과요.
Jesus, this is long.
최선을 다해 임하겠습니다.
어느 날 옆반에 데미안이라는 이름의 전학생이 왔다.
One day, a new transfer student named Damien was placed in the class next to mine.
전학생 주위는 언제나 사람들로 둘러싸여
He
있었지만
was surrounded by a crowd every time I saw him,
사실 그는 그 누구도 좋아하지 않는 것만 같다는 생각이 들었다.
but I got the sensation that he didn't feel attached to anyone around him.
내 눈에는 데미안이 그저 공기에 부유하듯 떠 있는 것 같아 보였다.
To me, he seemed as if he were almost floating in the air. He was aloof like that.
마찬가지로 그 또한 내게 별다른 관심이 없어 보였다.
Likewise, he didn't seem too interested in me either.
처음에는 그랬다.
That's how it was at first, at least.
그날은 지루하기 짝이 없는 공학 수업 시간이었다.
It happened during a boring engineering
칠판에서
class.
자꾸 시선이 어긋나 결국 나의 눈은 어느새 창문 밖을 향하고 있었다.
My eyes kept drifting away from it, and before I knew it, they were looking out the window instead.
그 창문 너머에는 산책을 즐기고 있는
Through that
그가
window,
보였다.
I saw him taking a walk.
그는 언제나 그랬던 것처럼 친구들에게 둘러싸이면서 옅은 웃음을 짓고
Like
있었는데
usual, he was surrounded by his fellow students wearing a faint smile.
그 웃음마저도 또래들과는 다른 성숙하면서도 외로워 보이는 낯선 웃음이었다.
Even his expression felt different from the kind someone his age should make. That smile carried a mature yet solitary aura.
그러다가 그가 햇빛을 받으며
Basking in the sunlight, he stroked his hair. Huh?
순간 그의 이마에 무언가 신비롭고 붉은 것이 반짝이는 것 같았다.
I thought I caught a glimpse of some weird red thing on his forehead.
잘못 보았던 걸까? 순간적으로 햇빛이 너무 강렬하게 비쳤던 탓인지도 몰랐다.
Was I mistaken? Maybe it was the blinding sunlight reflecting off his skin.
그러다가
And then
그와 눈이 마주친 것만 같다는 기분이
I had the feeling I made eye contact with him.
여전히 창밖에서
Some students were
아이들이
still
나와서
chatting
대화하고
outside.
나는 그의 시선을 느끼자마자 황급히
As soon as I
책상
felt
아래로
his gaze, I
공을
quickly
내리깔았다.
averted my eyes and looked down at my desk.
그 기묘한 사건 이후로 데미안은 곧잘 친근하게 내게 말을 걸어오기 시작했다.
Ever since that strange incident, Damien started to talk to me in a friendly manner.
신기하게도 데미안이 내게 오는 날이면 크로머는 아는 척을 해오지 않았다.
Oddly enough, on the days when Damien approached me, Cromer didn't come to greet me.
다만
Nevertheless, whenever she had the chance to,
약속에 대해 잊지
she'd come and
않았는지
make sure I remembered our promise.
난 종종 꿈을 꿔, 싱클레어.
I often have this dream, Sinclair.
그 꿈속에서 나는 아주 기다란 사다리를 타고 올라가지. 그러면 땅 전체가 한눈에 들어와. 둥지와 뒷골목, 외곽까지 전부 다.
In it, I climb an endlessly long ladder. Then everything down below comes into view. The nest, the back streets, the outskirts, all of it.
그런 다음에 내려다보면 이번엔 온 도시에 불이 꺼져 있어.
And when I look beneath my feet, all the lights are out in the city, as if the end of all things had come.
어떤 움직임도 보이지 않는 고요한 죽음.
Fallen into silent death, empty of any motion.
맞아. 그건 죽음 그 자체인 거야.
Indeed, it's the state of death itself.
데미안, 넌 외곽에 가본 적이 있는 거야?
Damien, have you been to the outskirts?
나는 두려움에
I whispered to him,
속삭여
frightened.
물었다. 외곽은 누구도
He
가서
was
안 되는
talking about a
곳이고
forbidden place
갈
where
수도
no one
없는
could
장소였으니까.
or should go.
싱클레어. 세상은 사람들이 정한 것처럼 가야 할 곳과 가지 말아야 할 곳으로 나눠지는 것이 아니야.
Sinclair, the world as people want to define it, it can't be divided in places of where you should and shouldn't go.
너는 이 둥지에 자유와 사랑이 존재한다고 생각하니? 외곽은 오히려 이것보다 풍요로워.
Do you think love and freedom can be found within the confines of this nest? Compared to your life is much richer in the outskirts.
나는 오래전부터 생각해오던 것이 있었고 어쩌면 외곽에서 그 답을 찾을 수 있을지 모른다고 생각했거든.
There's something I've been pondering for a long time, and I thought that maybe that's where I could find the answer.
데미안과 이야기할 때면
Whenever I spoke with Damien,
나는 내 영혼이
I could feel my
조금 더
soul mature
성숙해지는
a
것이
little.
느껴졌다. 하지만
But I never mentioned my
시술에
fears
대한
about the
나의
upcoming
두려움이라던가
prosthetic procedure
크로머와의
or my
기묘한
peculiar
관계라던가 하는 건
relationship with Cromer.
대화의 소재로 삼지 않았다. 그는 나에게
Even though he wanted to know more about me, I was hesitant to share my secrets.
불어 말하지 않았다. 내 안에 은밀한
I was
두려움까지
too ashamed to bear
끄집어내기에는
my deeply hidden fears before him.
부끄러워. 그리고 마침내
And finally,
크로머와의
the promised day had
약속의 날이
come.
다가왔다.
싱클레어, 너희 집에 있는 지하실 말이야.
Yo, Sinclair, can you show me your basement?
그녀의 말은 너무나도
Her
갑작스레.
words struck me out of nowhere,
그리고도
yet they were light as a feather.
가볍게 들려와서 떨어진 지우개를 주워달라고 하는 것만큼 당연한 부탁을 하는 것만 같아. 나도 모르게 긍정하려는 것을 간신히 막아야만 했다.
She asked me that as though if it were something as simple as picking up an eraser, and I almost caught myself agreeing to it.
우리 집 지하실은
Why our basement, exactly?
내가 우연히 들은 이야기가 맞다면 그곳은 엄청난 곳과 연결되어 있거든. 꼭 확인해봐야 할 게 있어.
If the rumor I just so happened to hear is right, your house is connected to a scandalous place. There's something I've got to check.
하지만 부모님이
But my parents
좋아하지 않으실 텐데.
won't like it. I couldn't even bring myself to finish this humiliating sentence.
참아.
내가 확인만 제대로 할 수 있다면 싱클레어.
If you let me check it out, Sinclair.
저번에 했던 약속 확실하게 지킬 수 있다고 보증할게.
I swear I'll keep that promise with you. Cross my heart.
지하실 열쇠를 몰래 가져와주면 길 안내는 내가 할 수 있으니까.
Just sneak me the basement key, and I can navigate just fine.
그녀의 말에 숨어 있는
Unable to detect the faint
끝끝내
familiar
찾아내지
feeling
못한다.
hidden within her words,
천천히
I slowly nodded.
고개를 끄덕였고 그렇게
Thus the world of evil began there, right in the middle of our
우리 집
house.
한가운데에서
Okay, this isn't that bad. I was scared it would be the shark for a second.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
거치적거리지만 마.
너무 쉽군요.
Oh, there's two ways to an abnormality fight? What the fuck? This is new.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
너무 쉽군요.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
흉터의 결과요.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
Oh my god, how long is it before the next checkpoint?
이 검이 필요하오.
부모님의 눈을 피해 지하실 열쇠를 몰래 훔친 후 나는 약속했던 대로 크로머와 만나
After stealing
지하실로 내려갔다.
the key without my parents noticing, I took Cromer to the basement of my estate as I had promised.
크로머가 안내한 곳은 지하실 속 좁은 환풍구였다.
From there, she led me to a dirty air vent.
환풍구를 한참 기어가자 어둡고 매캐한 냄새가 가까워지고 쥐들이 돌아다니는 것 같은 소리가 났다.
Crawling in the unlit vent for a while, a dank, grimy odor and the sounds of small critters scuttling about salted my
옷은
senses.
점점 더러워지고 있었고 목은 말라오며
My
집에
clothes were
돌아가고
stained
싶다는
with
생각이
filth, my throat was
간절해져만
parched, and I was overcome with a desire to go back.
그때
That's when I noticed that the smell my nose picked up had just changed from the stench so far.
너도 느껴지지?
Can you feel it?
크로머가 속삭이는 소리가 들려왔다.
Cromer whispered to me.
앞에 뭔가 있는 거야.
There's something up ahead.
만약 돌아가야 할 마지막 기회가 남아있다면
This might have been the last chance I had to turn back.
지금이라도 그녀를
It might have been better to dissuade her with all kinds of sweet plecitations to leave and come back later,
그녀에게
even if I knew that empty flattery wouldn't work on her.
알면서도 하지만 나는 갑자기 사악한 호기심이 들기 시작했다.
But before I could try, a vile curiosity came over me.
처음으로 악당들과 같은 세계 속으로 걸어가고 있다는 느낌.
I was entering a world where villains belonged for the first time,
였을까?
and for some reason,
나는 돌아가는 것을
I gave up turning back,
그게 마지막 기회라는 것을 어렴풋하지만 확실하게.
all while knowing in my heart that I was squandering my last chance.
그 광경은 정말이지 두 번 다시는 보기 힘들 정도로
Look at her
끔찍한
expression.
장면이었다.
Oh, the loathsome sight I had to witness. It was something I couldn't think to behold twice.
이걸 단순히
Could monstrosity be an apt description for what I saw?
그러기에는 지성이 있는
It seemed too sentient for that, yet it also seemed decidedly wrong to say that it was even remotely human.
두려움에 몸부림치며
Shuddering in fear, I started to regret stepping into this world.
왜 기회를 걷어차고 나서야
Sinclair, you idiot, look at yourself, hoping by some miracle to get another chance right after you wasted it.
그런 후회와 함께 이건 아마 죽을 때까지 잊을 수 없는 장면이 될 거라는 확신이
Along with my regret,
뇌리를 파고들어.
I had the feeling that I'd never forget what I saw that day until the moment I die.
그러면 나는 돌아가야겠어.
Cromer, I've got to go back.
하지만 크로머는 달랐다.
On the other hand, Cromer was enraptured.
그녀는 아주 황홀한
She was memorized by the scene, watching intently as though she had made a discovery of a lifetime.
풍경을 보며 취해 있었다. 어떤 말도 들리지 않는 것처럼 보이는 크로머를 두고 나는 뒤로 기어갔다.
Leaving Cromer and all enamored to herself, I crawled backward for the
왜 우리
exit.
집 근처에 그런 끔찍한 곳이 연결되어 있는 걸까?
Why is my basement connected to such a horrid
왜
place?
크로머는 이 사실을 알고 있는
How did
걸까?
Cromer know this?
왜 크로머는
Why isn't she scared either?
아는 걸까? 뒤에서 바람을 타고
I could almost hear Cromer's spine chilling whistles with the wind blowing from behind.
다음날 크로머는
The very next day, Cromer came to school as if nothing had
학교에
happened.
나왔다.
싱클레어, 내게 귀중한 것을 보여줘서 정말 고마워.
Sinclair, thank you so much more for showing me precious things.
이건 내 보답이야.
Take these as my thanks.
그러더니 그녀는 정체 모를 동전 두 개를
She handed two mysterious coins to me.
항상 가지고 있도록 해. 알았지?
Always keep them at your side. Got it?
고개를 끄덕이지 않을 수는 없었다.
All I could do was nod.
그 후 매일 밤
Since then, the things I saw in that vent constantly haunted my mind,
처럼 나를 괴롭혀댔고 나는 자연스레
and I began to consciously avoid Cromer.
그녀를 바라보는 것만으로도
I could picture myself involuntarily trembling in terror just by looking at her,
그러나 아직
but there was something I needed to take back from her.
지하실 열쇠.
The basement key.
만약 부모님이
My parents could find out at any moment.
열쇠 정리를 하는
1
날엔
minute of sorting the keys
금방
is all it would
불편할지도
take.
모르는 일이었다. 나는 따뜻한 세계에
For the
계신
first time,
부모님을
I betrayed my parents living in a world of warmth.
더 이상
I was afraid that my deviation from their world would end up becoming an irrefutable fact.
크로머, 이제 돌려주지 않을래?
Cromer, won't you give it back now?
뭘 말이야?
Give back what?
지하실
The basement key.
용기를 쥐어짜내.
I mustered the courage to ask one day. Cromer burst into laughter, as though she didn't expect this from me. Intimidated, I slowly stepped back.
무슨 말을 하려고 그렇게 쩔쩔매나 했더니.
Oh, and here I was wondering what you were struggling so hard to say.
좋아, 돌려줄게. 싱클레어, 열쇠는 이제 우리한테 필요 없거든.
Fine, you can have it, Sinclair. We don't need the key anymore.
그리고 말이야.
And besides,
네 원망은 틀림없이 이루어질 거야, 싱클레어. 의치 시술을 받지 않고 싶다는 거 말이야.
your grudge will most certainly bear fruit, Sinclair. You didn't want to get your procedure, right?
약속 기억하지? 너는 내 원망을 이뤄줬거든. 그
You remember
보답이야.
our promise? You fulfilled my grudge, so it's only fair that I pay you back.
열쇠를 받았다는 안도감에
I was too
사로잡혀.
absorbed in relief of getting my
크로머가
key
무슨
back to
이야기를
realize what
했는지
Cromer was really talking about.
못했던
I
내
cursed my
무지함을,
ignorance for it.
크로머가 말하는 우리가 누구였는지,
About what Cromer's we really meant.
왜 이제는 필요 없다고 한 건지, 내 원망을 어떤 식으로 이뤄주겠다는 소리인지.
About why she said it's not needed anymore, and how she was going to fulfill my grudge.
단 한마디도 묻지 않았던 내 어리석음을
I didn't think to question a single thing, and for that,
후회하고
I regret my inaction.
줬다.
I curse my foolishness.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 재밌네요. 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
껌을 덜 갈았었나?
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
다음은 어디요? 다음은 어디요?
Oh my god, how long is this?
기차와 같이 달려나가겠어.
Where's the checkpoint? Give me a checkpoint, please.
결국 크로머한테 열쇠를 넘겼었구나.
So you ended up giving Cromer the key.
어떻게 알았어?
How do you know that?
데미안은 말을
Damien
하지
had
않은
his
것까지도
ability to get a
모두
grip on
알아채는
things I'd
능력이
never
있었다.
mentioned to him.
언젠가 그에 관해
When I asked him about it, he just said
사람을
it's
자세히
something
관찰해보면
you learn
알게
by
될 일이라고
carefully observing
말했을
others, and didn't
더 이상
elaborate further.
자세히는 말해주지 않았다.
싱클레어.
Sinclair, a series of much more painful events may await you in the future,
덮쳐올지도 몰라. 하지만
but you mustn't give up.
그 고통이
That pain will foster your growth into a beautiful being.
제 아무리 어려운
No
말도
matter how
데미안의
complicated and
입을
perplexing
거치면
those
모두
statements seemed,
그럴듯해지고 마는
Damien's mystic charm
그에게는
made them all sound
그런
convincing.
신비한 힘이 있었다. 그의 말을 들으면
Listening to his
나는
speech
꼭
gave me the
성장할
hope
수 있을 것
that I could
같았다.
really grow.
그럴
I was
가치가 있는
hopeful that I
존재가
could
될
become
수
a
있을 것
worthy
같았다.
being.
어,
Yeah, but I don't
하지만
really get it though, Damien.
잘은 이해가 안 돼.
네가 알아내. 그런 다음에 나에게 답을 말해줘.
It's up to you to find out. Make sure you tell me your answer when you do.
말투는 부드러웠고
His voice was soft and
너는
his
웃고
eyes imparted
있었음에도
pleasantness, but I still felt compelled to do as he said.
그래야만 할 것 같다는 생각이 들었다. 그
His
눈동자에는
eyes must have held some
분명
kind of
특별한
power,
힘이 있는 게 분명했다. 눈만 마주치면
disarming
힘이
those who
흐르는
make eye
무력이지.
contact with him, sapping them of
특별한
mental
힘.
strength.
하지만
But
그렇다면
if that's the case,
왜
why
일말의
didn't he warn
언급조차
me?
해주지 않았는지 나는 지금까지도
It's something I still ask myself to this day. Oh god. Ah, god. This is a Zayn? I'm sorry. Those things were too quick. The reaction speed is clearly above the average human level. They got wits too. Rather than jumping in recklessly, they used the tactic of striking at the weakest target in the backlines before quickly running away. Happened our last encounter with them too. When you order a badly injured sinner to fall back, those things jumped at them to scratch open an artery and ran off like the wind if they understood what your command meant. I'm not sure how they reacted to like that to some ticking noise. Oh, I guess it's possible that the distorted hear it differently. Even if they charge at us in large numbers, we should stay level-headed. A sinner or two might die in the process, but it's a necessary sacrifice. At least we can revive. I remember you going through a lot of trouble last time, when you tried dealing with all of them at the same time and got us killed, as if they grow stronger the more they're attacked. Speaking of my death, it brings me back to the moment when those things chewed up my intestines. I think I died before I could feel the pain, but somehow I felt as though I was falling into an endless pit of fire. It wasn't hot or searing, just being with fire felt oddly natural. I guess it's a good thing I was brought back before I experienced more of it. My thanks go to the manager. Oh, that's how you see the... That's how you see the... That's how you see the resistances. Lamau.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Let's go, Greg. Great, now they have attack ups and are attacking a shit ton. Nice. Oh, and they're all attacking the same person. So good. So nice.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Great.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
That was below stagger. Come on. That was below stagger. That's dumb. That was below stagger. How did they not get staggered? Are you kidding me? Nine? How the fuck are you at? Oh, you have 3 haste. Why do we have so much haste? I don't know.
거치적거리지만 마. 검을 덜 갈았었나?
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
What? That's so bullshit. Oh.
명령대로.
너무 쉽군요. 단테님 봤어요?
Oh, thank God, staggered.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요. 흉터의 결과요.
Oh, that was tough. Fuck is happening? Oh my God, where's the checkpoint? Holy shit. This is so annoying.
몸 좀 풀어볼까요?
그날은 크리스마스 이브로
It was Christmas Eve and the whole town was filled with jingles and joy.
거듭 성야의 가호와
Under the blessing of the holy night, I was planning to confess my sin to my family.
나름의 고해를 해볼 생각이었다. 지하실 열쇠를 훔친
I wanted to
바보 같은
tell them that I
실수를
made the
저질렀지만
foolish mistake of stealing the basement
나는
key
다시
and that I'd go back to being a good
모범적인
son.
아들로 돌아갈 것이라고. 그 시간 동안 나는
Yet the short time I spent away from the right path was agonizing,
내가 속한
that I
세계가
learned how
얼마나
peaceful and
평안하고
fulfilling the
만족스러운
world I'd
건지
been living in truly
절실히
was.
깨달았다고. 그러면 가족들은
My family might be
처음엔
surprised at
잠깐
first,
놀라겠지만
but I was sure they'd welcome me
이내 날
back into their
그 나만의
paradise.
공간으로 분명
That was how it should have been.
그랬을 것이다. 하지만
However,
어?
huh?
원래 같았다면
I was supposed to hear
정문
a
앞에 설
robot
때부터
dog greet me when I
나를
stood
반겨줄
at the
로봇
gate,
강아지의 소리가
but my
들렸어야
hope was
했지만
covered in silence and
집은
darkness.
뒤이어 내가 마주한 건
When I walked inside, I was confronted with a
뒤집혀버린
fallen paradise.
낙원이었어.
God. Sinclair, run. someone
아버지의
smashes my
머리를
father's
내리친다.
head.
녹색 은색의 갑주를
It's a
입고
disturbing
있는 그
individual
사람입니다.
wearing rusty silver armor.
인간되지 아니한 것들이 인간성을 흠모하여 거짓 감정을 남발하다니.
How unsightly of these non-humans to still admire humanity and display false emotion.
내버려둬 기도. 불순물들 특유의 생존 본능이야.
Let those impure things be, Guido. It's their survival instincts kicking in.
아니,
What should I say?
전기가 끊기는
They're scared
것을
of shutting down.
두려워해 불려가는 게 맞나?
기계 파편과
Pieces of metal, flesh, and blood fly into the air before hitting the floor.
다시 바닥으로 떨어진다.
싱클레어, 너 왔구나.
Sinclair, you're here.
피와 살점이 묻은 망치를 든 채로 크로머가 다가온다.
Cromer approaches, carrying a hammer stained with blood and flesh.
아, 이거 말이야?
Oh, this thing?
난 옛날부터 저런 더러운 놈들이랑 조금만 엮여도 불결해서 참을 수가 없었거든.
Ever since I was little, I couldn't stand being involved with filthy affronts to humanity like these.
왜냐하면 나는
Because I'm a humanitarian who loves all things human.
그런데
Now imagine how it feels to face the son of a pack of those affronts to humanity.
내가
Just what should I do with you, Sinclair?
나의 다리는 힘이
My
풀린
legs
지
have
오래다.
long given up.
입도
My
마찬가지다.
mouth couldn't move. It was as if my
온몸의
whole
모든
body
요소가
refused to
자기 멋대로
cooperate.
움직이는 것만 같았다. 눈앞에
I saw
크로머가
Cromer standing right before me.
차마
I couldn't
고개를
dare
들
look
수도
up.
없었다.
Terror kicked in with the
그렇게
realization that
가까워져서야
she was so close to me, and my eyes shut themselves tight.
눈 질끈 감겼다. 아버지와
The thought that the
어머니와
same
누나를
hammer
느낀
that
살점이
crushed my
남아있는 저
father,
망치가
mother,
나를
and
향해
sister
다가올
would
거란 생각을
now
하니
come for me
견딜
was
수 없을 정도로
unbearable.
두려웠다. 하지만 아무런
But
기적도
nothing
없다.
happened.
의아해진 나는
Confused, I carefully opened my eyes and lifted my head.
크로머는
Cromer was watching me,
언젠가 내가 책상에
making a
앉아있을
perfect
때
smile just like the one
자신의
she
이름을
made when
알려주며
she
말을
first came
걸었을
to my
때처럼
desk
완벽한
and
미소를
told me
지으며
her name. Yeah, perfect smile.
하지만 너는 내 영웅이야, 싱클레어.
Well, you are my hero, Sinclair.
그러더니 내 교복 셔츠 주머니에 손을 넣어 동전 하나를 꺼내간다.
She then reaches into the pocket of my school shirt and takes out a coin.
나에게 쥐어준 두
It's
입의
one of the two
동전이다.
she handed me the other day.
앞으로 무엇이든 의심하고 불안해하고 끊임없이 나를 떠올리면서 겁에 질린 채 살아.
From now on, you'll doubt everything, be anxious of everything, and live in ever constant terror as your memories of me haunt you.
그러다가 때가 되면 내가 널 부를 거야.
And when the time comes, I will call for you.
어이, 이 아이를 안전한 곳으로 옮겨. 누구라도 손대면
Hey,
내가 가만두지 않겠어.
someone take this kid to safety. Lay a finger on him and I'll make you regret it.
엄습하는 이명과 구둣발 소리
Amidst the piercing
그리고
noise,
어지러움 속에서
storms of heavy footsteps and disorientation,
나는
I lost consciousness.
그대로 기절했다.
명령대로.
Why do I keep rolling the minimum on the egos? It just keeps happening. See those.
재밌네요.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
Please stagger. Oh my god.
단테님 봤어요?
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
Oh, they're both staggered? Okay.
거치적거리지만 마. 끝.
처리했습니다.
Absolutely wrecked.
꽤 잘 갈렸고.
Oh god, there's two waves? Kill me.
거치적거리지만 마. 끝이.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
처리했습니다.
혈이 난자오.
꽤 잘 갈렸고. 꽤 잘 갈렸고.
Okay. Oh my god! Where's the checkpoint? For the love of God!
그대, 이 검이 필요하오.
Ugh. Spooky.
정신을 차리니
When I came to my
햇빛으로
senses, I
잔뜩
found myself in an
밝아져
alleyway at midday,
한낮에
heated by the
골목길
sun.
한가운데였다. 난 그곳에서
I stayed there on the ground, dazed and
멍하니
confused.
누워있었다. 길가 곳곳에
I could see a
아지랑이가
haze
피어오르는
rise
것이
from the
보였다.
surface.
싱클레어, 네 세계에 금이 갔구나.
Sinclair, a crack has been made in your world.
내가 데미안을 봤을
I
때
feel like I
종종
was starting to
느꼈던 위화감의
understand what the
정체를
strange feeling I often got from
그것도
Damien
같았다.
was.
어째서 그
I
아이는
always found it weird how I never
항상
heard his
발걸음 소리가
footsteps.
나지 않았던 걸까? 왜 모든 건 고독하고
Why does everything
조용하게,
arrive in desolate silence as
어디에도
if it
속하지
belongs to
않은데
no world at all?
가족의 죽음도
The loss of my family, the world of evil,
악의
all
세계도
this despair,
그리고
and you too.
두렵니, 싱클레어?
Are you scared, Sinclair?
그는 내게 말했다.
He spoke to me.
모든 것을
He had the eyes of a person who saw through everything,
그리고 그
and the
모든
attitude
것이
of someone who
예정된
predicted
소선에
the
지나지
series of
않는다는
events.
심지어 그는 알고 있는 듯이 대답을 기다리지 않고 말했다.
He didn't even wait for me to reply, like he knew what I was going to say.
언젠가 전부 깨버린 채 박차가 오를 날이 오겠지.
One day you'll break it all together and soar,
나는
and I wish to see you completely bare.
입 밖으로 꺼내지
He
못하고
responded
있던
as
나의
if he already
속대답이
knew that answer I was
어떤 것이라는
hesitating
걸.
on.
그러나
Although his
그의
words
말은
seemed to radiate warmth,
온기가 가득한 듯하면서도 제대로 익지 않은
I felt a certain chill,
차가운 내부를
like
씹는
biting
것만
into the
같은
cold insides of a
서늘한
half-cooked
기분이 들어.
turkey.
나는 다시 한번
I couldn't help but fall unconscious again.
정신을 잃을 수밖에 없었다.
He is Guido. One of these? Are you fucking kidding me?
명령대로.
Please, oh my god, can you roll heads for once on an ego hit this fucking thing? Please, for the love of God. 2 attack down nice is nice though.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
That's not good. That's below stacker. Come on.
거치적거리지만 마.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없어.
혈이 남자오.
Yeah, okay, 14. He's gonna die before we get there, unfortunately. But, you know. It's the thought that
잘
counts.
가려고.
Oh, thank God.
최선을 다해 임하겠습니다.
Oh, there's not even anything this time. It's just immediately going in.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
What? Oh.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
제대로 들어갔습니다.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
끝이.
That's below stagger.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
That's annoying.
거치적거리지만 마.
단테님 봤어요?
거치적거리지만 마.
Oh, right, you have to. Lame.
명령대로.
흉터의 결과요.
Okay. We're almost there, chat. We're almost there. Oh, God.
어땠어, 싱클레어? 네 마음속에 나 있는 길에서 정답은 찾을 수 있었니?
Well, Sinclair, were you able to find an answer in your heart's path? Chroma,
눈 그렇게 뜨지 마.
don't give me that look.
아직 때가 되지도 않았는데.
It's not even time yet.
널 죽여보고 싶잖아.
You're making me want to kill you.
아니야, 참아야지. 당장의 재미보다는 더 중요한 일이 있으니까.
No, I should abstain. I can't let immediate entertainment distract me from the more important things.
싱클레어, 공명하기 시작한 황금가지를 회수하려면
Sinclair, the only way to retrieve a golden bow that's begun to resonate is...
알아요.
I know.
황금가지가
Even if it
아니었어도
weren't for a mission,
저 개새끼는
I'd still tear that bitch to pieces and drink up her remains.
싱클레어, 언제부터 그런 말을 배운 거야? 너 같지 않아 보여서 우습잖아.
Oh, Sinclair, when did you learn to act so tough? That's not like you at all. What a riot.
그래도 뭐 친구들도 많이 생긴 것
Still, well, I guess you've made some friends since then.
이번에는 도망치지 않을 거지?
You won't run away this time, will you? I don't know what the signs mean. Am I supposed to bring Sinclair into this battle? Was that what it means? Because I haven't done that. Oh God. Oh God, it's an abnormality battle. It's if the unit has burn or bleed, heal 15% of max HP and gain 3. No! What? No!
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
I love rolling tails so much. It's my favorite part. Thank you for rolling heads, Rhaegar. Thank you.
운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
The gripping. Wait, how'd you get staggered? What? Oh god, it's a gimmick battle. Oh no.
명령대로.
She just became instantly staggered. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, what? That's not the... Whatever.
재밌네요.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it was. Damn.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
내 팔은 연에 있었어.
Great tremor, my favorite. My favorite status effect. Doesn't matter, she gets rid of all status effects anyways. Oh god, okay.
거치적거리지만 마.
재밌네요.
Okay, 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 okay. What? Holy shit. Don't lose this! Don't lose this! He's saying, you better not lose this. Because if you do, you're fucked.
검은 아직 벼려 있어. 죄를 새겨주겠어.
Damn it, no! Yeah, it's about what I thought. That's not good. What? What just happened? She just got skewered by her own nail! What the fuck? What just happened? She just got skewered by her own nail! What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened?
명령대로.
죄를 새겨주겠어. 이 상이 무엇이라 생각하시오? 운이 따라준다면 좋겠네요.
Teth Lamau. Jesus, Teth Lamau. Oh, what? Oh, that's unfair. Oh, that's unfair. I did not know that would happen. There was no way for me to know that's how that works. Fuck you. The sinners were fatigued and damaged, some already dead. As opposed to us, Cromer still stands triumphantly. She reaches for the inside of Sinclair's coat in what seems like a declaration of his fate. Now then, it's time, Sinclair. I'll be taking the second coin, your last chance. Why are you doing this to me? Why me? Sinclair, do you want to know why I gave you back the basement key when you asked? Listen close. It's not because I made my discovery or baked a copy of it. It's because you were my key. You see, I happen to know of a way to take a peek at the futures that might come true. I saw one among them where you and I traveled from nest to nest, slotting heretics together all around the city. Even though you were raised by heretics bearing revolting metal bodies, part of you still felt disgusted by them. Funny, isn't it? You should stab them with the head of your halberd. Don't you lie to me. While I smash their heads with a hammer. Stop it. In that world, you looked like the freest person in the universe, transcending everything. No. You're lying.
거짓말인지
Whether I'm
아닌지.
lying or not. Cromer suddenly cracked a wry laugh and stopped moving. The golden bow! The golden bow on the altar resonated with her cackle and began to glow brighter. Then,
시작됐어. 드디어 나의 최종적인 원망이 이루어지는 시간이야.
it's begun! At last my final grudge will be fulfilled! A mass of flesh engulfs her lower half. From the hideous organic growth, bundles of ambiguous appendages stretched outward in countless numbers, as if desire and madness were made manifest. Oh God. Come, Sinclair.
나를 찢어 마셔봐.
Rip me up and chew me down.
할 수
If you
있다.
can, that is. Cromer, the dreamer of human wholeness. Oh God, she's distorted. Oh!
명령대로
764 HP, oh my God. Ten charge already.
명령대로
This thing is horrifying, by the way.
거치적거리지만 마.
내 팔은 뼈에 있었어.
막을 자는 없어. 지금이 기회인 것 같소.
Cromer is breathing heavily. Perhaps it's a side effect of the transformation. Roster is unstable and her eyes are looking elsewhere. With her focus disrupted, we might be able to land a critical strike. We will be able to seize the opportunity. Please. Yes! Honglu circled around Cromer's fleshy mass to disorient her. Soon enough, she let her guard down. Honglu didn't miss this chance to deliver a devastating blow. That seemed pretty effective. A deep and indelible wound was left in Cromer's body. Could this be it? Cromer dreamer wholeness is staggered.
실력과도 연관되어 있죠?
거치적거리지만 마.
명령대로.
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
Hello, Shade. Stream's almost over. Lamau. This is only an HE? Fucking, are you kidding me? That's only an HE. According to the game's lore, fucking Ebony Queen's apple is stronger, apparently. The fleshy hill exuded potent acid, melting Sinclair's legs. All the other sinners were being dissolved by the caustic secretion, too. He trips and hits the ground. No, perhaps I should say he was thrown off his feet. In spite of that, he still crawls towards Cromer.
그거야. 고통스럽지, 증오스럽지. 전부 받아들여. 남기지 말고 모조리.
Yes, that's it. It hurts, doesn't it? You're filled with rage, aren't you? Accept it all. Welcome it with open arms. And watch me. Watch my glorious body, closer to the purest form of humanity than ever before. This flesh here, the sheer, unmatched strength of purity.
너 지금 너무
Ah, Sinclair, look how human you are.
수 있는 거.
You can become like me, too. All your.
싱클레어, 사실은 무서웠지. 가족도 잃고 모르는 사람들이랑 버스를 타고 돌아다니면서
Sinclair,
하고 싶지 않은 일을 억지로 하고.
you were scared all along, weren't you? You lost your family, and you had to ride a bus with these strangers, forced to do things you didn't want.
사실 네가 있을 곳은 여기가 아니라는 마음이 들었지.
You knew in your heart that you didn't belong there, right?
도망치고 싶었지. 다
Didn't you
그만두고
want to
싶었지.
run?
그렇지.
Didn't you want to quit it all? Am I wrong?
반드시
I swear, I.
함께하자.
Join me, Sinclair. Don't avoid this, embrace it. Complete my grudge.
완성시켜줘.
arm Sinclair was using to hold his weapon was growing limp by the second. He nevertheless continues in Cromer's direction.
고통을 받아들여야 해. 우린 고통마저도 초월한 순간에야 다시 태어날 수 있어.
You must accept the pain. Only when we have transcended suffering itself can we be reborn.
살점을 채우고 피를 쏟고 가장 인간다운 것을 매순간 늘려가면서
Bloat the flesh, spill the blood, adding on the most human things each second.
만인의 도시에 존재하는 불순물이 걸러진 가장 순수한 세상으로.
To the impurest world where the impurities plaguing the city of all folks have been filtered out.
엄마, 아빠, 누나.
Sinclair vacantly mutters, looking at the faces of his now dead fellow sinners. I couldn't leave him like this. Sinclair, listen to me. I'm embarrassed that it took me so long to take action, but it was better late than never. Act like the manager I am. I know you think a lot. I know there's a lot going on in your head that you can't share with others. That's how he was. Worried that he might be a burden, he constantly put his mind through doubts and ruminations, most of which he never let out. He's chewed up many a thought in the form of guilt.
가족들은
My family died because of
나
me.
때문에 죽었어. 말해서는
I said stuff I really shouldn't
안
have.
되는 것을 말해버렸어.
그래, 모두 네 잘못이야. 그러니까 받아들여. 그래야 완전하게 거듭날 수 있어.
Exactly! It's all your fault, so embrace it. That's the way to become wholly reborn.
나를 따라와.
Follow me and rest in my grip.
이어지는 거야.
Don't listen to her. You have to see, look at her, observe her carefully. Alas, my voice didn't seem to reach him. Sinclair's weapon leaves his hands and lands on the ground. His advance for Cromer has stopped. Yep, looks like this is the end for us. I can feel my body melting into the mound. I knew I'd die trying to play the proper manager sooner or later. But, Sinclair, I have to tell him more. I have to tell him that Cromer's spewing a heap of lies, threats, and hypocrisy and exaggeration. Every nerve in my body is screaming that I shouldn't give up on him. I can feel the burning pain of my melting body. Look closely, Sinclair. Not with your eyes, but with your heart. I screech at Sinclair. Only then will you see what matters most.
그래야만 가장 중요한 것이 보일 테니까.
Only then will you see what matters most. In that moment, someone quietly appeared. And when... Oh god, it's this guy. He's here now, apparently. I don't know who he is. And when you can see things that matter most, you won't have to stifle yourself with shallow threats or cheap tricks. Isn't that right, Sinclair? He moved with grace and airiness, as though he floated in the air. He seemed lighter than anyone else, unbound by anything. Contrary to his impression of freedom from all worldly longings, an oppressive air seemed to accompany every step he took. And with just a wave of his right arm, Cromer's upper body vanished in a clean cut. Wait, blue? 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 That was in Leviathan? There was blue in Leviathan? Whew.
데미안,
Damien,
네가 스스로 운명을 바꾸었구나.
you've
싱크레.
changed your own fate, Sinclair.
너는 아직 겁쟁이도
Right now,
아니고
you're neither a coward nor a hero,
두려움
but you
없이
still yet to let go of your
완전히
fears
놓지 못한
completely.
것 같네. 그때도 말했지.
I've said it before, haven't I?
누군가가 두려워하는
When you
건
fear someone,
그 누군가에게
That's because you gave them the power to have control over you.
자신을 지배할 힘을
맞아.
That's right.
그리고 나는
And I don't want
다른
anyone
사람이
else to
너를
domineer
길들이는 게
over you.
싫어. 그래서 저
Which is
크로머는
why I got rid of that
사라지게 했어.
Cromer. The man referred to as Damien then started to walk. He took airy steps as though he were embarking on a light trip.
세상은
The world
곧
is about to
새로운
head for a
탄생을
new
향해 갈
birth,
거야.
and only a few
그리고
individuals can
그곳에는
get there.
아주 소수의 사람만이 갈 수 있어. 싱클레어.
Sinclair, you're one of
너도
them.
그중 하나야.
Sinclair fainted before he could answer. Damien slowly made his way over to me.
크로머는 옛날 옛적에 사람들이 믿었다던 신님이 되려고 했어. 싱클레어는 그 걸음이 될 뻔했고.
Cromer attempted to become a god like those which people of the past were said to believe in. Sinclair almost became her stepping stone.
하지만 나는
In the end, though,
혼자서
one has to
깨야
break an
하는 거야.
egg on their own.
크로머는 꽤
Cromer
노력했어.
put in quite a bit of effort doing this and that to create a throwback to the time when Sinclair lost his first coin.
이런저런 수도 쓰고 말이야. 크리스마스까지는
Irregardless of the fact that Christmas is still a while away.
결국 자기들이
It's
그렇게
ironic that they
싫어하던
resorted to
가짜를
creating
꾸미고
false
있었다는
imagery,
건
something they love so
아이러니야,
deeply.
그치?
Don't you think so? What are you talking about? Who are you?
반가워.
A pleasure to meet you, Dante.
당신이
So, you're the
잠깐
adult
동안
who will
싱클레어를
condition
길들여줄
Sinclair at the
어머니구나.
moment.
내가 누구인지
As for who I am,
그리고 무슨 말을
and
하고
for what I was
있었는지는
talking about, you'll
때가
see in
되면
due
알수
time.
있을 거야. 싱클레어가
When Sinclair takes
마음의
flight
힘을
with
굳게
unshakable
믿고
faith in the
나아가면서
power of the heart, right, when he
아름다운
becomes
별과
one with beautiful
하나가 될 날이
stars,
올 때, 그때 나는
that
다시
is when I'll
돌아올 거야.
return.
그날까지
Take good care of Sinclair until then,
싱클레어를 잘
Dante.
부탁해, 단테.
You can hear me?
나는
I can hear all
모든
sorts of
지저분을
chirps and
들을 수
trills,
있어,
Dante.
단테.
It's only natural that I hear your voice.
당신의 목소리도 들릴 수밖에. 언제나
As always,
그릇 가장 중요한 건
what matters most is
눈에
something you
보이지도
can't see or
귀에
hear.
들리지도 않으니까 말이야.
The boy with a blue scarf vanished without notice. After that, the mounds began to melt away. They dissolved into mixtures of flesh and mud. With them gone, a single golden bow appeared before me, spreading its warm light. Sinclair's world was gradually melting with the hills. I had excruciating draglets left out of my upper body across the floor to reach Sinclair. He was still breathing, and so was I. I figured I should still be able to turn the clock. Thus, that means I'm still their manager, and I should act like one. Plus, as I learned in my dying moments, I have to strive to become a more sensible manager. With all that, I need to tell him. It might have been your fault, Sinclair. But that's okay, really. It's one small mistake, one anyone can make. Don't beat yourself up so much about it. I pat him on the back with my half-melted right arm. Sinclair doesn't reply. To be truthful, trying to identify someone to blame all this on would be a never-ending endeavor. From each of us going and carrying our sins onto the bus, to my loss of a head and memory accompanied by an involuntary appointment as the executive manager. At the root of all this, I might find no one but myself to blame. Staying bound by that fact, though, will only keep us from taking our next steps.
발견했습니다.
We found him! I can hear multiple footsteps approaching our horribly incapacitated team. Virgilius must have figured we'd get into a mess and called the after team to scoop us off the ground.
이자인 것 같습니다.
This looks like the individual we seek. Do I inject it now? The others can be revived as long as this one lives. Focus all resources on restoring their body. Huh. I felt a jab in my shoulder, and then a strange sensation enveloped the parts of my body that had melted off.
그분이 지원해주신
We were provided 3 HP ampules. Do I use all 3 of them on them? Keep an eye on the regeneration process and use them at your discretion. Lucky strap hangers. They're rolling in luxury thanks to having a color on their team. One with a friend in Cape Corp at that too.
을 확인했습니다.
The voices all around me started to fade. Sinclair's bawling lamentation dimly rings through the emptiness. Our third mission marked its sober end in dismal defeat. I mean, you still got the bow. Even though we recovered the golden bow, we lost. On the other hand, the bus was more vibrant than usual, possibly out of everyone's attempts to disregard the depressing outcome.
닭꼬치 개수는 인원수에 딱 맞게 사왔으니까 모자란다는 소리가 들리면 범인 색출은 알아서 하도록.
I bought enough chicken kebabs for all of you to have one, so if anyone didn't get theirs, go and put your detective caps on by yourselves. Such curious cuisine. What is the intention of skewering meat with a stick? Chicken meat with a stick? I may be familiar with this kind of dish, a kochi of the dak variety. A sweet smell, the kind Mephi likes. Stimulated, Charon revved the engine. Charon was humming another familiar tune. I could recognize the song this time. Charon, isn't Christmas still a ways off? Don't put a damper on Charon's fun, bug guy. If Charon feels like it's Christmas, then that's that. But, come on, I called you by your name for once. Well, why don't you settle the score by giving her a bus girly then? You know, tit for tat and all that. Ugh. Virgilius was watching the scene unfold, leaving his food to cool and hardly taking a bite even though he was the one who bought it all. Perhaps he's gone quiet because of Charon's song. It does come to mind that he said she was going through a tunnel. And then, I turned my gaze to Sinclair, who was awkwardly laughing amongst the other sinners. If we're going through a long tunnel, then what we do is wait for the morning to arrive, right? What was that about, Dante? Drop the goofy poetry and have a kebab. Come on, say ah. Our manager has no mouth. The executive manager has no need for a mouth as they're perfectly capable of commanding us without a word. Do keep that in mind. Golly, don't you ever get tired of licking their boots so clean, Otis? Oi, got more of the scran? It's peak. The fuck does that mean, Heathcliff? Hey yo, BG, give me a light. Thought I wouldn't know what that's short for. I thought about giving a speech to the sinners about how this fruitful yet unsuccessful mission changed my mindset, but I soon shelved the idea. I told Sinclair to not let a failure of the moment bind him after all. Instead, I've resolved to make up for this less than ideal outcome on our next mission. May I have thine attention read, Sir Vigilius? What? I do believe I have acted with sufficient caution as you so have warned. Thusly, if I may, would you allow me to lay claim upon a skewer? Go right ahead. As Don Quixote's excited jubilation adds a layer of vigor to the already lively bus, the message I couldn't speak, but one I'm sure has been conveyed in one way or another, spreads between us, and so the morning came. That was a good ending. Even if there were like 3 levels in this chapter that made me really mad, this chapter was good otherwise. Very good. Probably the best chapter, other than those like 3 levels. Ah, they're all eating kebabs. What is he doing back there? Look at Heathcliff. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just realized that. Oh, I love this. These are so good. What's that? The fuck is that up there? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. Well, I guess that's the end of the stream.
관리자님 덕분에 승리를 거둘 수 있었습니다.
Oh hey, I got training tickets after all the content's over. Of course, I missed like 3 levels. Yeah, I missed 3 levels of that, so I don't get my EX bonus. But anyways, that's it. That's it. That's all the content. Thank you for coming, Shade. That'll be the end of stream. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.